What's interesting is that it seems to have become the politicians versus the people of India. Why has that happened? Do you think many politicians are uncomfortable about that? Or do they feel that this two sides, or this divide as it is, has been portrayed wrongly?
No, I think that the politicians have also in some senses got it wrong this time. Because when I go to Parliament, a lot of parliamentarians in private conversation talk about the fact that they haven't been invited to the Ram Leela Maidan, that they haven't been asked to be part of this movement. I don't think that people realize that this is our movement. This is not Anna Hazare's and Dr. Kiran Bedi's movement. This is the movement for the next generation, for the India of tomorrow, for the rebuilding of systemic change. So it's all of our movement. So I think that, you know, people have understood this wrongly and have let it affect their egos, when in fact, you know, when I went to the Ram Leela Maidan, I was a bit frightened, to be honest, because
you weren't invited.
No, I wasn't invited, and I was a bit frightened because I thought, you know, I hope I don't get lynched when I go there or something. But when I went there, the thousands and thousands of people that were there were extremely gracious, big-hearted, as Indians are, and welcoming, and they just said that, you know, we're delighted that you've come, and we want all the MPs to come, and we want all the, you know, political figures to take part, and, you know, yeah, it is an all-encompassing movement, but it hasn't been portrayed as such.
You don't see a contradiction there, because the kind of language we've been seeing being used by certain members of Team Anna, where basically they've said things like, you know, politicians are eating the people's money, politicians are corrupt. You've seen the whole call to gherao MPs' houses, to gherao the Prime Minister's houses. You don't think that it does set it to a confrontation path between politicians and Anna Hazare's team?
It may do, but we've got to always carefully look at the larger picture, which is that if tomorrow we can have systems of accountability and transparency put in place, whereby powerful people are not allowed to get away with exactly whatever they want, then I think it's worth the price of just listening to some people who are also, perhaps, if I may be a little unkind, catering to the mob.
You're saying that includes certain leaders of Team Anna?
Look, at the end of the day, a lot of people get caught up in the moment. So let's say there's 100,000 people cheering and waving. It's possible that they think that there is some capital to be gained out of that movement. I think the way to look at this, both as a young person and as a political person, is that there's no politics to be played here. This is not an anti-government protest. It's an anti-corruption protest. It's not an anti-UPA or anti-politician protest.
I think you said something very important, and I think people within your own party may not be as happy, because you said it's not an anti-government protest. Now the BJP seems to have made it very clear that it is an anti-government protest. They don't feel it's an anti-corruption protest. You're not worried about what senior leaders in the BJP will say to you about that?
Look, it's not an anti-government protest. I'm telling you because I'm the only MP that's actually been there. It's an anti-corruption movement. Everybody who's there is not shouting anti-government slogans. They're shouting anti-corruption slogans. They're saying that we want to get rid of this bane of corruption once and for all. Yes, this is a government that's seen as more corrupt than most. But that's not to say that earlier governments were seen as, you know, completely sanctified.
Shri Anna Hazare today on stage made the point that I want the opposition to make their stand clear. This comes after the all-party meeting where Team Anna says they saw a change in government stand, where all political parties basically united to say that Parliament can't be held hostage, deadlines can't be set to pass bills. What do you think of that? Do you think the opposition has perhaps been lax in supporting the Hazare movement? What do you think the opposition has been soft in that way, that they're playing a double game?
You know, I don't think they're playing a double game, but I think the truth of the matter is that it is possible that Shri Hazare has understood that the opposition could have been more vocal or more clear in their support. See, I've spoken to the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha several times. It's clear to me that everybody supports Shri Hazare and his endeavor. Everybody wants to rid the nation of corruption. Everybody supports his tremendous tenacity just as a human being. I mean, who would have thought this was possible? See, I'm 31 years old. for me, this is a life-changing moment. I haven't seen Mahatma Gandhi, you know, I've barely even seen my own grandmother. So at the end, I haven't seen Lok Naik Jayaprakash Narayan, I haven't seen Vinoba Bhave. So when I see a man like Anna Hazare, when I see him speak, when I see him stay hungry for 10 days because he believes in a better tomorrow for Indians like me, because he may not be around to benefit from the India of tomorrow, its improvement, it just moves something within me.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.